Good to go, Peter.
Yeah, yo.
Peter. Joel. Peter. Joel. Naima. Anybody? Are we live?
Not yet. Oh, just give me 2 more minutes. Daddy line is still on.
Okay, all right. Just make we know.
Okay, you're live.
People, welcome to another episode of Primal Sports Center. People from Trelawney, Fit FM 96.7, Facebook, YouTube, the World Wide Web. Welcome once more. I'm your host, Froggy, alongside
Kane the Schwab Watson. And again, it's time. It's that time. Time for Primal Sports Center. As we bring it to you. And without you, as the public, as Froggy said, this would be possible. So thanks again for tuning in. Last week, Froggy held the show down by himself. I was on way playing a tournament, a tested tournament. And now I'm back. My co-host, other co-host, Dale Parham is off on national duties. Currently coaching the Caribbean junior team in Barbados. And the controversial boss is somewhere doing some combat training. I don't know if he's in Tahiti or Malaysia, but somewhere in the world claiming to do it combat training. But we'll have him at the midway point for sports commentary. I know he's never short on controversy. So I don't know what he has for us at the midway point, but I'm sure you'll be waiting for that. And I'm waiting for that. Hopefully I don't say anything that will steal his thunder later in the show, because I love claims so we steal his thunder. But we know what I'm going to come with as a combat artist, because, UFC's on the cards, track and field news, football, basketball, we have an interesting lineup, but to kick things off, we're going to start with basketball.
Yes.
As the playoffs kick off today.
Mm-hmm. We have the likes of Nuggets versus the Clippers.
Currently going on.
Yeah, the Knicks, the Pistons later around 5 o'clock, and we have the Lakers and Timberwolves at around 7:30 tonight. So it's
the first game kick off earlier today, where Indiana, the 4th seed, defeated Milwaukee to go 1-up. So that's the 4th seed versus the 5th seed on the East. But to give you a rundown of who made it to the playoffs, because how they're playing this week, and with the new format, 7 play 8, 9 playing 10 to try and get in. NBA trying to be creative, but some people like it, some people don't like it. But hey, it's more basketball, and it's something different. But for the full lineup on the west side, we have the number 1 seed OKC going up against underdogs Memphis. I think that would be a one-sided series, as OKC to me is a well-tuned machine heading into these playoffs with the likes of MVP candidate Shea Gilgeous-Alexander playing phenomenal basketball. They can't stop him from score. So it's how well the team clicks. And playoff is different from regular season. To me,
big man time now.
Yeah, OKC kind of walked through the regular season. Didn't have much of a tested time, but I think they will have a rough time trying to go all the way, although I see them waltzing through the series against a young Memphis team led by a young star, Ja Morant, who to me will have his time to shine and show that he is a top player. Because when you talk about top players around the league, people tend to not look on Ja Morant. They tend to look more on Anthony Edwards, the Jokic, the SGA. And to me, Ja Morant can be in the conversation with these guys, but it's time to prove it. Yeah. And now you're going up against even a young team now, so hey.
But this team, this Thunder team it's young, but it's 1 year older than last year. You know what happened last year.
Yeah. And so they're playing good basketball, and team basketball. Yeah. And they're having fun. So it's not a one-man band with SGA, all about SGA. That's Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. They have the likes of Jalen Williams, Hartenstein, Chet Holmgren is healthy. Dort is a perimeter defender. Alex Caruso. So
they're gonna cause problems. There will be problems.
Some people have them as a favorites. Some people have them as a favorites, and definitely in the West. On the East side, people have Boston, even though Cleveland is the number 1 seed, but Boston has been there, done that, and has a deep team. So we have OKC versus Memphis. We have Houston versus Golden State. We have the 4 seed Denver versus Clippers going on right now, and we have number
Lakers.
3 seed Lakers versus Minnesota. On the East, 1 seed Cleveland plays Miami. 4 seed
One-sided.
Indiana Milwaukee, as we stated earlier, who played game 1. Number 2 seed Boston versus Orlando, which should be a good series. I think Orlando has probably one of the better records against Boston, but Boston is
Deep. It's championship time.
yeah, it's prime time.
Prime time.
So that regular season, you know,
Gimmicks.
it's
That
not
done
the
with.
cut it out. Tatum, them and them boys, Jalen Brown, Porzingis,
And they have something to
Al
prove.
Horford.
They have something to
And
prove.
they want to go back to back. Because one thing, not many people go back to back, much less back to back
To back. Alright.
So Boston want to show that. And we have the Knicks versus Detroit, which I think will be
One of the best
one of the
matchups.
best series. I think that would go probably 6-7 games, but that's to complete the lineup for basketball in terms of matchups. But we're going to dive deep into the series. And which series do you think is probably the best series to watch? Or you would say, you know, people like an underdog story. Which one you say you give an underdog story? Is it Minnesota? Is it Houston? Although Houston is the number 2 seed.
Houston is.
I give Golden State the edge.
That would be the best series.
We already delved deep into the OKC Memphis, and we both think OKC will.
Yeah.
I don't even see Memphis winning a game, to tell the truth. I said that 4-0. Best case for Memphis 4-1.
Rockets,
Houston versus Golden
Warriors.
State.
I think that one to me is probably the best of the West.
You think so?
Best of the West because
I think that one is probably going to be the worst one.
best of the West.
Nah.
It's Jimmy time.
No, precisely. I think Golden State going to manhandle that series. I don't think
Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, Steph Curry, championship mentality. Been there, done that. What it would mean to Steph Legacy to get the 5th ring, that a lot of
The
people saying,
elusive fifth.
I don't see it happening, but his team is out there, and I see them winning the first round. And if that team carries momentum with that championship pedigree, championship coach,
With Draymond.
Draymond Green, Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, we know has been to finals.
Playoff Butler.
Playoff Jimmy is mean. So playoff Jimmy will be ready, and I see Golden State getting the better of Houston. I
It'll
see
be a
4-2.
tight-
I think
a
it's
4-2. I would say
4-2.
4-2.
I think 4-2. You have to give Houston credit for being the number 2 seed, and they have a young team out there with Jalen Green and Sengun. East might be an X factor. Young Thompson, who is thinking about playing for Jamaica. The Thompson twins might play for Jamaica. We'll soon talk about that as well.
They have a
because
choice?
Norman Powell
It's
is going
coming.
to play for Jamaica. And we have the
I
Thompson
mentioned-
twins are eligible to play for Jamaica. We see one of them on Houston and one of
And
them,
the one from Charlotte as well. Mentioned his name last week.
Nick Richards.
Yes.
No, he's not on the Suns. He's on the Suns.
So
But yeah.
he's a part of the team as well.
So, Houston Golden State series, I see Golden State going through 4-2.
4-2.
4-2, you think
Yeah.
so? So we're both on the same page with OKC and Golden State.
4-2.
OKC waltzing through that series and Golden State Houston. As I said, it's going to be should be an interesting
Entertaining.
series.
It's a very entertaining series.
I think the most entertaining series is going to be Clippers Denver. I think defense going to play in that. I don't think going to be a high scoring series.
You may never
A
know.
little old school basketball with the likes of Kawhi Leonard, James Harden. Jokic to me is the MVP and will lead his team and has championship pedigree. Fire the coach late in the season, which may prove a telling factor in the series because you have to have that calm old head in your corner to lead your team, and a lot of people don't give coaches credit. As they say, players win and coaches lose. When the team lose, it's all on the coach. When the team wins, Jokic is the star. Player, who is the star? And Jokic is one of the best players on. But I think coaches get lost in the translation.
That coach
and
fired himself.
How important they are in the mix. I think to go all the way or to win, you have to have a good coach. In the
Championship metal coach.
and we have seen Malone.
Post Malone.
Malone has done that in the past with Denver, but now Denver is basically without a coach. So I think that might be a telling factor in this year, although I think Denver will eke it out probably in game 7. I think this series is going down to a wire. Clippers is playing one of the best basketball to close out the season. Clippers finish strong, probably the strongest overall. And I think, as I said, it's going to go down to it. But I'm leaning to Denver because of Jokic. Jokic gives you everything. If he's having
A good
low
night.
scoring night,
He's
he's
still
going to give
giving
you
you.
rebounds and assists. If he's not getting much assists, he's going to drop 45 on you, 50. So Jokic to me
X
is
factor.
going to produce. And we have the young wings, Christian Brown, Michael Porter, Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray still injured, but,
He's coming back. I think he came back a couple of games.
yeah, but he's not playing game one. Westbrook to me is more of a liability than anything else.
It's a
Probably
role player.
curse.
It's a role player.
He's probably but Westbrook has experience and will want to show up against his old team Clippers. Although Westbrook probably have an old team all about players. Westbrook probably
The most traveled. He's the most traveled NBA player.
Yeah, players that travel more than him. Now. When I time shot travel to you know, you have some players that go all over the place. I'm talking as a starter. You know you have players that
yeah.
go on a trade block which are role players, but in terms of star players, Westbrook is probably one of the most traveled
Star players.
Stars, yeah. MVPs. 'Cause
Man,
he
James
has
Harden.
MVPs and come to think of it, it's between him and Shaq. When you look at it, him go
Magic.
Houston, him go Clippers, him go
Lakers.
him come from Thunder. Where him go somewhere else? I'm missing somewhere else.
He's been traveling.
I'm sure I'm missing one. It soon come to me, but I'm telling you, he is well traveled, but I think he can be an X factor in the series. Will he be an X factor?
Highly doubt it.
I doubt it. It's all in Jokic hands. But I think it's going to be an interesting series. Can go anyway, but I have to take a pick. And I am going with the MVP, Jokic.
I say 4-2.
4-2 Denver.
Mm.
I say 4-2 Denver. So we're on par so far.
4-2
I don't like
Denver.
when we agree now. So we go right here.
It's a 4-2 Denver.
But maybe you're getting the sharpness. I understand. Because you make a pick with PSG
5-4.
from last week.
Yeah.
But we're going to save that later on for the show. So, I mean, the sharpness rubbing off on you. But we both have Denver in that series. Minnesota Lakers. The Timberwolves versus the LA Lakers. Where you have the series going?
Mm.
Luka Doncic, LeBron James, Hollywood, prime time.
It's a bit close.
As Shannon Sharp would say, Lakers in 5.
I don't think it's going to be in 5.
You don't think Lakers in
It's
5?
not going to be in 5 that much.
Lakers is short on
It's
height.
not going to be sweep.
Lakers is short on height, and Minnesota is a very lengthy team from McDaniels to Edwards to Gobert to Randle. They have length all over the court, and I think that length will pose a problem for the Lakers. But Lakers have the star power. Two of the best players in the league. I mean, one of the greatest players of all time. Still playing at a high level. The king, LeBron James. And we know Luka is Luka Magic. And the last time Luka played the Minnesota Timberwolves was in the Western Conference last year. And Luka handled business and took it to even Rudy Gobert. I remember that step back shot where I mean you can see the passion in his face. And Luka wants to win, want to prove the naysayers, especially down there in Dallas, wrong. So Luka has a lot to play for, and Luka is that person where him shine bright when the lights are the brightest. So Luka is a player that is, I mean, generational talent. He's not really a highlight reel where he will jump out of the stadium and you get dunks and that, but Luka is magic. And I think Luka is going to be the face of the NBA when LeBron steps aside in a few years.
I think he's already the face.
I mean, you have to give the king the credit. You know? He is who he is. I mean, we have Steph Curry, we have LeBron James. We know these older heads that has been around and we've been watching for the past decade or so, going to finals and giving us a lot of historic moments. But for the next 10 years, the next chapter, I think it will be Luka will be involved. Ant-Man will be involved. I mean, I like Banchero by Magic. I don't know if he's going to be a Magic forever. I think he needs to go out to a bigger market. But Luka is definitely a generational talent, and I think him and LeBron together is going to be hard to beat. But Minnesota will pose trouble, and I think it's going to be a closer series than anybody.
I have it going 7, you know.
Because and I think it's going to be a high-scoring series. Lakers don't really play much defense, and Minnesota plays defense. So if Minnesota can I mean, limit Austin Reeves and company, I think that it's, as you said, it's going to be a close.
It's going to 7.
I don't think the Lakers in 5.
I think it is Wolves in 7.
Wolves in 7.
Wolves in 7.
Ooh.
when I look at all the factors, the height
I
factor,
say Lakers in 6.
Wolves in 7.
I
The
say
height
Lakers in-
factor,
I say
the
Lakers in
defense
6.
of the Wolves, and they can penetrate. And Lakers don't have anything against that penetration. You can't depend on LeBron for a 7-game series. He's gonna fail in at least 2 of those games. Luka is the X factor. He's the one that will be bringing the Lakers for this one, but him alone can't do it. And I know you have Austin Reeves, and I know when you have that big three hitting, they hit well. But not everything is about shooting from outside the perimeter. You have to can go in, and if you can't go in,
It's the playoffs. Yeah, those shots not going just drop like it's regular season.
all right, and you will get tired. And I can. I'm
Minnesota
telling
is
you.
going to pose trouble, and they have a star player in Ant Edwards.
And this team is, and they have the fire. He said he's the face of NBA, and he has something to prove in Ant,
Huh?
and he has something to prove.
And
I'm telling you,
he's very confident.
Wolves in 7.
Wolves in 7.
Wolves in 7.
I said the Lakers in 6 just because of
Luka?
Magic, but I mean Minnesota will pose trouble. I see where Minnesota can eke out a victory, but I mean Luka and LeBron will find a way in my eyes, and I think X factor for Minnesota will have to be Julius Randle and Naz Reid. I think they have to give a good scoring output to help Ant Edwards. I mean Gobert will
He will get the rebounds, and that's where
he's going to average probably minimum 12 rebounds a game.
I was going to say 14 because there's
Yeah.
nobody there for Lakers.
Nobody there, and I mean, if you can get rebounds, you get more possession. So
And
you
he'll be there.
limit Lakers on the boards. I think Minnesota going to win the battle at the boards.
I tell you,
It's going to tough, but Luka Magic, LeBron James, prime time, Hollywood.
I think the
Those are 2 winners, you know.
the only benefit of the Lakers is that LeBron loves to drive. He loves to go at the hoop, and he's gonna go and he's gonna cause trouble. He's gonna start the fouling process. So Gobert might have a little issue there, but again, the Timberwolves defense,
McDaniels is out there at length.
and they can play defense and they can shoot.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I'm seeing this going 7, if not 6, but I'm seeing 7 and I'm seeing Wolves in 7.
So you think this series is going to be the probably most entertaining series? Or are you sticking with Golden State?
I'm sticking with Golden State, but this.
On Rockets. I mean, I think
I think
Clippers
this
get
one. I think this.
This one,
I got to switch. Minnesota Lakers
It's going to be a good.
because of the confidence of AE, and
I don't think there's going to be much defense from the Lakers. That's my thing. That's why I picked Denver Lakers, Clippers in terms of to watch. I mean, we're used to the 90s old school type basketball where defense and that back-to-back battle where people can get a stop on the end. I think Lakers Minnesota going to be a high scoring series.
Lakers will have to.
But you might be right. It might be the most
me see
interesting
Wolves.
series. I'm still chopped between it and Denver Clippers, but
Wolves.
I think it's just good TV. It's time for the players because the regular season to me is kind of boring, kind of played out. It ended well where we saw people adjusting for positions,
Trying to find their matchups.
trying to get in the top 6 because you don't want to be in the play-in and then
Playing.
on the way out. Memphis almost on the way out.
That player needs to leave. I don't like it.
I saw Dallas trying to get in. Dallas, Anthony Davis. I mean, a lot of injuries
Yeah.
down there. Clay Thompson, but
Yeah.
I think no matter who falls down at the 8th seed, OKC would definitely have the edge.
Yeah.
I'm glad it wasn't Golden State because we want to see Golden State go deeper in the series. So if OKC to beat Memphis, and we have Houston to beat, Golden State to beat Houston. Denver to beat Clippers and Lakers to beat Minnesota. You have Minnesota, so
Yeah.
the matchup would be OKC Denver for both of us. That won't be a good series to watch. Whoever got through, but I would prefer Denver to go through. And we're looking at maybe a Golden State Lakers matchup.
I'm not seeing Golden State Lakers matchup.
You see Minnesota.
Minnesota.
So, but if Minnesota catch Golden State, I think Minnesota will beat them as well. So you have Minnesota going to the Western Conference Finals.
Wolves
Again.
and OKC.
What's OKC? Wow.
Wolves making it. Wolves going to the finals.
The Western Conference Finals.
Yes.
Wow.
I don't know who gonna meet them there, but Wolves going there.
I have Denver Lakers.
I don't see Lakers going to the
I'm
final.
tough for Denver because Denver coaching situation kind of have me in a ray to see how well they're going to cope without experienced head in their corner. I mean, although you have players on the team that has been there, done that, but you need that top tier coach, which, as I said, going to play a telling factor. But Jokic is just phenomenal. So I have Jokic pulling off this series, and I have them beating the young guns again.
No, sir.
So I have Denver.
If I think Murray was there, then fine. Denver.
As the playoffs go on, you'll probably see him come in, play a role, and get back there. So if they get past this series,
which they will,
which I think is going to be tough, and Murray coming back against OKC.
Yeah.
I see the experience. Denver getting ahead of OKC again, and I see Lakers beating Golden State.
I don't see.
So it's either.
Yeah, the Lakers Golden State because of the small ball.
Timber was getting through. So
But Lakers not going through.
Okay, so you have Minnesota
Yeah.
and OKC,
Yeah.
and I have Denver Lakers. I mean, let's see how it play out. But
Wolves.
we have a lot of interesting roads to play out. All throughout this playoffs, and I'm glad it started today, and I mean, we have something to look forward and watch, guys. It's going to be interesting basketball. So that concludes the West wrap up. We have to look on the East. I mean, we spend all that time on the West. We have to give the East some credit. You know, I prefer the West, but we have to give the East some credit. So I said 1 seed Cleveland, Miami. I have Cleveland going through.
Cleveland.
Yeah, 4-4-1.
They're playing probably the
Although
best.
Miami scrappy and I mean Bam Tyler, but short-handed. Cleveland have the firepower, Mobley, Mitchell. So 4-4-1. Miami probably get a cancellation game in Miami, and Cleveland just wrap it up. I'm sure you have Cleveland as well. Cleveland all the way. And the 2 seed Boston versus Orlando. Boston.
Too much.
East kind of
too deep.
Yeah. Boston.
Boston straight to the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, but we're going to break it down first before I jump to the Eastern Conference. Because I have Boston going back to the finals, yes. So, and it might be interesting to see Boston Lakers finals.
I don't want to see that final. That is like a.
When you say Lakers visit first round, you know.
Lakers not going.
Okay, so yeah. But we have Boston both going through. Again, 4-1. We have a cancellation win for Orlando. I mean, let's see if Boston get complacent and give them a match. But Boston should win the series 4-4. And Boston knows what time it is. It's not time to play around, I think. Tatum and them boys ready to go back to back. Indiana, Milwaukee. Giannis is short on help. Lillard didn't play game 1. I mean, last time I checked the score, Kuzma didn't even score a point going into the fourth quarter. Same with Torian Prince. I mean, Giannis is short on help, and I mean, he can't do it by himself. Indiana is more of a team with Halliburton. I mean, dropping dimes and with low turnover ratio.
He's too inconsistent.
Who's that?
Halliburton.
I mean, but for this series, I have Indiana going through because
I was going to say Indiana.
I have Indiana going through because Giannis alone, it's going to be
It's time for Giannis to leave.
Giannis probably going to average 40 and 15 with nobody helping him out there. So I don't know why they trade Middleton for Kuzma. Kuzma out there can score a bucket. And Kuzma is not a defender. A man to pass the ball. Middleton can slow it down. Middleton can go in the post. Middleton can give you assists.
It's a weird trade.
Kuzma is out there. I don't know what's going on there. I didn't understand that trade, but hey, I have Indiana. Indiana winning probably 4-1, 4-2. Giannis is short on them. So you have Indiana as well.
4-2. You get 2 games.
Yes, but we have Indiana as well.
Indiana.
So, I mean, we have the first 3 picks again.
So we have Indiana. We have
New York,
Cleveland.
Detroit. New York. I'm going with New York. Brunson Towns. I mean,
yeah.
Josh Hart going to play 45 minutes out of the 40. Mikal Bridges don't miss no match. OG Anunoby. Knicks have defense. Knicks have a clutch player in Brunson. If the games are even close, Brunson is clutch. Brunson will find a way to get to the.
He will have like 5 points up until the fourth quarter.
Cat wants to prove that he's one of the best bigs in the league. To me, he has always been overlooked. I mean, because we have the Jokic and we have the Giannis, those big men. But Towns thinks he has something to prove. He thinks he's the best shooting big man, and definitely getting a lot of rebounds. Top of the league in rebounds. I mean, top 3 up there. So, Brunson, Towns, New York squad. I mean, you know the team are going to play heavy minutes. OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges. Yeah. So, I have the Knicks. Detroit, young good team. Don't sleep on Detroit, but I have Knicks winning 4-2.
I think it's repeated basically the same, except for Cleveland last year. The same 3 is coming up, 4 coming up. So, Celtics, Cleveland, Knicks, Pacers, same order.
So you have the Knicks as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have the same 4 on the East, 3 out of the 4 on the West. You have in Timberwolves.
Yeah.
I have the Lakers.
Lakers.
I can't go against the Lakers. I mean, look at the done. You're mad.
Have to go against Lakers.
I can see why. But I just think Luka Magic will find a way.
He
And
alone
I think
can't.
him and LeBron is in the twilight of his career, but LeBron going to play hard. And LeBron getting this help now. But Lakers short and big. So this is going to be a testy series. But if they can get through this, them and Golden State should be a more total matchup. But so we have Cleveland. If Cleveland goes through, Cleveland will play Indiana. Have Cleveland beating Indiana.
So it's a Cleveland and
We have Boston beating New York.
Boston. Cleveland Boston
So we
final.
have Cleveland, Boston on the Eastern Conference.
So Boston is back to the NBA
Yeah,
final.
the same. Cleveland, Boston. Yeah.
Have Boston back to the
So
NBA
Boston,
final.
we have Boston going all the way. So you have Boston versus the
Boy,
Timberwolves.
it's tough between Wolves and OKC, boy.
Yeah,
Tough.
make a pick.
Tough.
Last week you go and make a bold prediction come true. That's what we're here for. Make a pick and stick to it.
OKC.
OKC. So you have Boston OKC final. I have Boston versus the Lakers.
That's a dream final.
That's a dream final. But
Yeah.
it's tough.
Based on NBA
Lakers,
history.
Denver. It's gonna be tough. Oh, sorry, Boston, Denver. The West tough. West is going to be tough. And interesting, it's a tough pick. Because, I mean, with all these series, even on the West, Clippers can find a way through. Timberwolves can find a way through. We both have OKC, Golden State going through. I mean, we're sleeping on Houston, but, I mean, I don't see them getting the better of Steph, playoff Draymond Green.
Trust me.
If Draymond Green goes haywire and get technicals, or that maybe I'm sure get some for. I was in some controversy, some trouble. But if him keep a cool and that Golden team with Podeminsky and Moody, shooters on the court, Buddy Hill, and Steph, as I said, Steph to me wants to get a fifth for him. Steph is going for it.
Let me ask you something.
I see Steph winning that series.
We know that.
Playoff Jimmy.
Let me ask you something. We know that the NBA has been losing credibility over the past couple of years.
Yeah,
So that day I was
breaks
talking to the and I said, you know that LeBron mash up NBA
Yeah.
gets soft. Everybody turn friend, no competition, no competitiveness. Let me ask you something. What do you think about when you reach playoff stage? Instead you have top 8 from East playing the top 8 playing each other. Why don't you just go across the table?
It could.
One from East play the 8 from West.
Or you have the top 16 teams based on record.
It's the same 8, same top 8.
Or same top 8,
yeah.
top 8.
And then they just cross the table.
Why not just the best 16 teams? Because
That too. But
Dallas probably better than Miami.
I'm just using it like this. 8 from
Or the
East,
Kings.
8 from
Kings and
West.
Dallas probably better than Miami.
And the top seed from East play the bottom seed from West. And the second seed and it's so on and so on and so on. Cross the board. Play cross the board.
Then that would add a
more
different history
dynamic.
to it.
Yeah.
It would, but then you would have a Eastern Conference champion and a Western Conference champion.
I don't need that.
Based on what you're saying, then that would be ruled out.
If you already win the West, so you're the Western Conference champion.
Based on
Regular season.
well,
Regular season, you already win.
So you put up banners in your hall based on having a
Regular
season.
That would make
Regular season.
the regular season more competitive. Because
Nobody cares about that.
that's the problem.
Nobody really cares about that.
Nobody cares until the last 10 games.
So you're saying other dynamic to get ratings
Yeah.
up. So have them play for something
Cross
to
board.
get the best
Yeah.
record
Yeah.
and cross the board.
Cross
you
the
would
board
add an
after.
interesting dynamic. It would definitely be different from what it is now. Because if you look at it, as I say, based on the records, OKC would play Miami
Yeah.
first round. Yeah. And then, no.
Boston
and
would
then
play.
Cleveland would be the number 2 seed.
Yes.
So you'd probably play, let's say, a Golden State.
Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
interesting. Then
Different.
you just basically rewrite the history books and have something different. now.
Everything has been rewritten already. You
Yeah,
already
with
have
this
playing
whole
tournament.
tournament.
You have all
But
these.
what you're proposing adds a different dynamic to what you're saying.
Yeah.
But it could work.
And it would make the
I don't
regular
necessarily say, hey,
but the regular season will be more competitive. Because if you win the regular season, you are the Western champion.
I don't think it would be more competitive. I just think it would be add a different dynamic to the playoffs.
That's
It would
something
be
else.
an interesting watch.
I want to see that.
I mean, right now, if Cleveland playing Golden State in the first round, we'll have some interesting matchups. But and the West is always deeper than the East to me.
Hence the reason why I say crossing.
I can imagine right now a Knicks playing, for example, Minnesota. Wow. I get what you're saying. I would prefer to see Knicks, Minnesota, and probably, let's say, Detroit versus Lakers. Imagine a Memphis playing Indiana.
Tell us
It would
will work, you know?
probably work. I think it would probably boost ratings.
I think they need to come.
You know what I mean?
Tell the NBA chairman
But
they
I
need
mean-
to come talk to Primal.
Yeah, but as I said, it would be
Totally different.
A total different
League, totally NBA.
storyline written in history books. No Western Conference, Eastern Conference champion, basically.
No, you just go
Right across. the
right across. Reach playoffs right across the board.
Some the franchises take pride in winning Eastern Conference champion.
Then you're playing.
Although, I mean, those banners to me don't really mean nothing. Because if
Then-
you're Eastern Conference champion, it doesn't mean.
But if I already win the East, why should I go to a playoff to be the champion again? To play the same teams that I play already.
Truly, everybody's looking to lift the title. Everybody cares about one thing: to win the NBA. Nobody cares if you're the Eastern Conference champion and you lose.
Or when you reach.
Nobody remembers you say, "Oh, I was the Western Conference champion." No, everybody remembers the winner. So if you lose first round and you lose in the finals, you lose.
You
So,
lose.
what you're proposing could work.
I would want to see that with the chairman needs to come talk to us. You know.
It would be probably interesting. People will reach a halfway show. Halfway in the show, and now it's time for sports commentary with the controversial boss himself. I don't know where in the world he is, but hey, take it away,
You're
Peter.
gonna tell us no.
Greetings, guys. I am not in Jamaica, so that tells you exactly where I am. Let me just start off by just saying to Froggy, there's a reason why teams are divided into Eastern and Western Conference, and that is the reason for it is a simple thing called geography. You want to play in your local or your location and be the champion of that location. So you divide the thing into region because it costs more for New York to go to California 3 times than for New York to clean up the eastern seaboard and then California clean up the western seaboard and so on. So obviously it's economics and it's geography. But let's stop at that. So I want to talk to you about UFC last week and why, even though I got one wrong, I still consider myself the expert predictor. I'll tell you why. So the first one I got right was Yael Rodriguez was fighting against the Pitbull. And I predicted that result 100%, went exactly how I predicted it. The second one had Paddy Paddington fighting against Michael, can't remember his name now. But, and again, I was correct.
Michael
Michael Chandler. Paddy choked him out, just as I predicted. And the reason I can predict these things, I've been in many a fight myself. And I can tell you that you work out these things. It's like table tennis, how they will go beforehand. Now, what I couldn't predict for the big fight was between
Volkanovski and Lopez.
Volkanovski and Lopez. I keep trying not to say Nunes,
Yeah.
and Lopez. Now, Volkanovski is always Volkanovski. He's lost a couple of fights, and I thought his spirit would be a little low. Some people, when they lose, their spirits get low. I'm not calling any names, Kane Watson. But the point is that Volkanovski, even having lost twice, came out and gave his usual performance. What surprised me was Lopez. Lopez, that I had seen in the highlight reel, was an aggressive, coming forward, balls to the wall kind of fighter. And I did not think that Volkanovski could withstand the surges from Lopez, especially a man who is 8-10 years younger, fighting against a defeated champion. But guess what happened? Lopez was so afraid to engage Volkanovski. I don't understand how you expect to beat the champion without taking it to the champion. Even though the last time I was wrong in UPS, in UFC, the exact same thing happened. Alex Perez was defending his championship, and he didn't take it to the defender, to his challenger, and it was awarded against him. And this fight was very similar. At no point did Lopez look like he wanted to win the championships. And he went into the fight, and this is something that no expert can predict. What is the vibes? He had no vibes. And so we were very disappointed. Another big thing that's happening this week is in table tennis. The whole world is excited because in the in the semifinals of the World Cup taking place in Macau right now, Hugo Calderano from Brazil became the man by beating world number 2 Wang Chuqin 4-3. He was down 3-1, I believe, at one point, and he came back. He fought back and beat Wang Chuqin. It's an amazing game. If you guys get a chance to check it out on YouTube,
Deuce in the seventh.
Yes, because Hugo Calderano will play world number 1 Lin Shindong in the finals, maybe in a few hours, maybe in a few hours, because China is 12 hours ahead. They will play. My prediction, though, and I'm predicting it from now, is that Lin Shindong will be too much for Calderano. Lin Shindong, I think, is quicker on the ball. He's very disciplined at keeping the ball to the middle. Calderano's middle. Calderano's a big middle. He swings very well left and right. But I don't think Lin Shindong plays so fast, and he's so quick to get in his backhand. And he's also quick to attack your opening topspin with his backhand counter, that I don't know if Calderano will be able to play at that pace. So my prediction, 4-1, Lin Shindong versus Calderano for the World Cup title. Big title. Ken, you disagree?
I don't disagree at all with that, because Lin Shindong to me will control the backhand side of the table.
Yes, that's what I think is going to happen. Because Calderano is a very powerful backhand, but he needs a big swing.
Yeah.
And Lin Shindong is so quick off the ball that I think he's going to control Calderano. And I don't think Calderano's forehand is that good either, even though it's powerful. And given a chance to play it, he will play it. But Lin Shindong is so good at moving the ball around, and his attack is so quick that I think he's going to take Hugo out of the game. So my prediction is for Lin to remain world number 1.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That's a fair analogy. I mean,
No.
you got a big victory there against Wang Chuqin, and I mean, fighting, and that last point showed
Yes.
that, hey, man is making out 200 backhands.
Yeah. This World Championship, this World Cup has been very spectacular. But I want to point out one more thing. In the earlier rounds, some history was made. Table tennis has introduced a thing now called TTR, which is the table tennis equivalent of Hawkeye in tennis. So what that means is that a player gets a number of challenges. I think he had 2 challenges, and you're able to challenge the umpire's decision and tell the umpire, I disagree. Let's view the evidence. So a couple of interesting games took place. The first game was in an earlier round, Dmitry Ovtcharov, serving his usual squat backhand serve, got up and served his backhand, and the female umpire said, point. She took the point from him. And Ovtcharov challenged the call. And then we saw in real-time video, the toss, the umpire said the toss was not high enough. On the review, the toss turned out to be well above the 16 centimeters that is allowed for the serve. And so it was interesting because many times, and I contend this, Kane Watson, I've been the victim of many a bad call, but it's a great thing in table tennis that the umpire actually just matter-of-factly reversed their call. And I give credit to that, because most umpires are not going to reverse their call, even when they're obviously wrong.
I don't think that will work in your favor, Peter, because where the states have it that you serve over the table,
Yes, most of the people who lose against me will have something to say. And
most people we need to check it out and review.
And most people lose against me, with very few exceptions.
Well, I mean, we don't want to call any names here.
All right. Let's not go there. But also, there was another interesting match in which Ovtcharov was playing against Lin Yonju. And at match point, Lin Yonju got a ball to smash and smashed it. And there was a question as to whether it had come on. But instead, Ovtcharov complained that somebody had used their flash somebody had used their flash at the critical moment when match point would have occurred. And to my knowledge of table tennis, one of the first rules is that no point can be replayed.
Yeah,
Kane, you concur?
I concur.
And guess what happened?
I play
They
with the point.
replayed the point.
Nice.
To my shock, they replayed the point, and Ovtcharov quickly reeled off 3 points and reversed the position and won that match. And I'm thinking that that was a very pivotal moment. And
you agree with that?
when the history is done, when the history is done, it will be shown that the rules did not allow that point to be replayed. They replayed that point, and furthermore, Lin Yun had already won that point, and the game was over.
Yeah.
So Ovtcharov benefited from 2 TTR decisions.
So, do you agree with that though? Playing over the point.
I know. As far as I know in table tennis, there's no play over of points.
Yeah, but I mean, things can change. So, looking
It
forward.
was a decision. It was a decision, but I didn't agree with it. And as you can see, it changed the character and the color of the match and the result.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
It's tough both ways, but I mean, if you look at it, if he got impeded, I mean, Lin Yu is supposed to be gutted because having won that point and be like, hey, we're used to this not playing over points. It's just tough luck. You know what I mean? You flash.
Same, the problem is that Lin Yun had played a long point and gotten a sitter to smash away. And this is the point that Ovtcharov chose to claim that somebody had their camera on and made a flash. But had the flash not been there, Lin Yun would have had a sitter and just smash the ball in to win the point. So it's a tough one.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
All right. So many people don't know that Kane Watson, last week I learned some things about Kane Watson. And one of them is that Kane Watson is the son of a famous sculptor. And that sculptor actually did the statue of Dr. Leo Bolt. Is that right, Kane?
You learned that this week.
Yeah. So you guys, if you get the chance to check out The Matrix, the replay, which I will post on our YouTube site, there's an interview with me and Kane and the Primal team talking about, who we are and what makes us think we know anything about sports. All right. But I brought up Kane and the statue because Independence Park has a lot of statues, eh? Kane?
Yeah, they do.
I think there's one for Shellyan, one for Usain Bolt, one for Veronica Campbell-Brown, and there's even one for Asafa Powell.
Yeah.
And the question I want to ask Kane, is it possible for a statue to be modified from a male figure perhaps to a female figure by virtue of this the work of the sculptor?
I mean, personally, I'm not a sculptor, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, but would we be able to chisel out, say, the statue of Asafa Powell? And I wondered if Asafa really should be in such elite company, because the other people in the park are national heroes. They are people who have won at the Olympics. I know he was on a relay team. He got the baton with a 20-meter lead and kept it to the finish. But my question is this. I recently saw Asafa in a public video, Asafa, and he was saying that he doesn't get the recognition and I'm saying we need an intervention for this man, because once again, he was complaining that Jamaicans do not give him the recognition he deserves. And Fim Pickney not going to run for Jamaica. They are his children. I think they're all of 7 or 8 years old. He has already decided to warn us that his kids will not run for Jamaica.
May not run for Jamaica. He didn't say it may not.
May not run for probably unless things change.
Yeah.
Because he was not treated ostensibly. He was not treated right as a runner. He didn't get his honors. So I am joining the line to call for the recall of that statue. I think that statue that is in Independence Park, which is our recognition for an athlete, Jamaica's most loved loser. Most loved loser, right? How is it that this man is saying he need more love? How much more love we gonna give this man?
I was
this
waiting when the controversy gonna kick in, because you're doing so good enough. But go ahead.
Ken, how much love this man need, brother? The man said that his wife come from Canada, and he's a Ghanaian, and the kids have lots of options. I think they're running sports, and they probably got an honorable first or second. I don't know what they did. But all of a sudden, he thinks that is Olympic qualifications. It's not Olympic qualification. It's prep school. You know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
you know, I'm saying, what more this man want from Jamaica, my lord? The man is even saying that when he was in his younger days, America offered him US dollars, millions, I think he said. I think he said millions of
Mhm.
US dollars. He was offered to run for America and run for thing. I guess maybe that's true, but I don't think so. I doubt it very much. And I think that Jamaica, we're a poor country. We're a poor, we're a proud country. And I think that Jamaica has given him a lot. Athletes in Jamaica enjoy pride of place. Let me say something. Is there an Alan Cole statue at the stadium, Kane?
No, there's not.
Is there a Yaga Rowe or is there a Michael Holden statue anywhere in the stadium? So the runners, track and field runners, they give one to the man who win the discus. Didn't
No.
we have a man win discus the other day?
Yep.
Gold medal. There's no statue for him. And here's a man who
Yes,
don't
Gordon.
have. Here's a man who
Dion
does not
Hemmings.
have an individual medal.
You remember
Asking
Dion
for
Hemmings? That was a victory from Dion Hemmings back in '96.
Dion Hemmings don't got no statue,
Million
right?
Walker.
How do we decide who to give statue to? And that's why I'm saying if Mr. Watson can just chisel that down, that you know the shoulder is a little broader than Ilian. Ilian don't have no statue. Ilian is a double gold
Double.
medalist.
Never
That
been
is the
done
no
before.
mean feat.
Mm.
Ilian has defended the 1 and the 2.
Yeah, it's never been
How
done
many
before.
women have done that? And she
Yeah.
don't have a statue. You get a statue, brethren. The only person other than the track and field athletes is Bob Marley.
Mhm.
He's only
Yeah.
Bob Marley. So you need to get it twisted. Somebody need to go to Asaf and say, listen, you see what you get? No more no day. There's nothing more to be balling over my youth. And make the people them run. If they make the Jamaica, and I'm not praying that they don't make they don't make it in athletics, you know. But I hardly think they will, because the mixture of genes is not going to produce. I notice the track and field athletes tend to marry these girls that are not necessarily the athlete type girls.
Yeah.
Asaf, if you wanted your kid to run fast, you should have married Elaine when you had the chance. That's sports commentary. What say you?
Oh, Peter started out so well. I was wondering when the
When?
controversy go drop in. I tell you.
I'm about to say, Peter, this was the worst commentary, but then
I'm saying, well, Peter, he's up on the controversy today, but he take time going to it. Give us the UFC breakdown, everything, and then bam, here comes the controversy. But I mean, Peter has a point. I mean, I think Asaf has a point, but
I don't think
he's
Asaf
not
has
really
no
one
point.
to bring across that point in a way that
I don't think
people
Asaf has-
understand what he's trying to say.
Yeah, nothing to say.
Because yes, the athletes need more attention, more investment. I mean, Peter touched on that. We are a poor country. I think we are mistaken and thinking that we are a sporting country. We are not a sporting country. We just love sports. We don't necessarily invest in facilities, athletes, but yet still we tend to produce world beaters. And that shouldn't be the case. We should invest in our own. We should get state-of-the-art facilities. I mean, in vast area of sports, not only track and field, table tennis, badminton. I mean, so-called minor sports have been left way back and struggling, but yet still, as I said, the nature of the economy and how Jamaica is, we need to look forward to improve. But it's a tough road. So it's not only track and field, but what Asaf is saying that yes, we need to invest, but don't say your kids go and run for our next country if that be the case. Just state that, hey, Jamaica need to improve in this area and that area, but you don't need to say, yo, your kids go and run for another country. So if your kids don't make it as a track athlete, the fact still remains we still need to invest in our own. So why not just stick to that point? Don't say, oh, so and your kids do become track stars. You're telling us that you're going to make them run for another country?
Run for Ghana.
I mean, that going to lead to some
for
form
Ghana.
of
Listen,
backlash, and that statue might be in trouble as Peter said.
might have some green paint on it sooner than later.
Yeah,
I can
but
tell
I
you
mean,
that.
State the point, but don't draw a comparison or draw the fact that, hey, so why you yourself didn't go and run for another country? I mean, if you had gone and run for Qatar, which
Stephen can coach.
athletes from Jamaica have gone to
Stephen
Qatar.
can coach him.
Huh?
Stephen can't coach him.
I mean, Stephen can coach.
If I get the money for run for America, Stephen can be him coach.
Yeah,
Different
of course,
coach.
you can
Different
Stephen
coach.
coach.
MVP
Foreign
can
athletes
coach
all the
him.
time.
MVP
Asian
can coach
athletes
him.
and you name it.
Yes.
Indian athletes from all over the world because it's not a
I have-
set Jamaican camp.
I,
It's
I have
from
listened
all
to
over.
that interview and I think that Asafa's statement were disgusting.
Mm.
And they were wrong place, wrong
I
time.
think he didn't bring across his point right.
He doesn't know what to say.
His point was he doesn't know how to express himself, I would say. But hey, I can't talk for the man. The man have to talk for himself. So I'm not putting words in his
Not
mouth.
talking
Him say
nothing.
what him said.
Not talking
But
nothing.
I think it kind of will rub the Jamaican public
It already did.
in a wrong
Because
light.
when I look at it, some utterances that he's made in that statement, I'm wondering if he was thinking about what he's saying. At one point, he's saying that this is a business, So your kids are a business now.
Yeah.
It is a business for him, and this is his life. Asafa, you have benefited from the same system that you're complaining about. You benefited from it, and now you're complaining about it. What have you done to help? How you try to improve it? If you're seeing that they're lacking
His homegrown talent, trained in Jamaica,
everything you do,
by Stephen Francis.
and if you see there are loopholes in the system and you can fix it or you can help to fix it, you and Babsy and all the coaches from every club in Jamaica, JOA and J3, Usain Bolt, Ishali, when you sit down in a little boardroom and say, boy, the future track and field, big for Jamaica, we go through this. We don't want to see the young youths come up in the same system. How we can fix this? The other day, last year, when the young lady, Thomas Todd, she didn't have her husband,
Yeah, the
coach, at in the stadium, but he was at the warm-up area, but he couldn't go in the stadium. These are things that they can fix, or you can get him accredited to go in the stadium. You fix these little things, these little knickknacks. If it needs more money to get other persons, then all right, we'll draft up this fund. They can pull the money from here, get more coaches, but they can't sit and complain about if this don't change, then your children not going on for Jamaica.
I say I'm still vexed about the land.
Vex.
Vex him
Me
get
telling
the
a
land.
long time to this man, friend.
Vex,
You see, when he made the statement about business, telling a long time.
hey,
If this was about business,
I'm privileged to be
Why?
a Jamaican.
why you never go win an
I'm
Olympic title
proud
or a world
to be a
champion?
Jamaican.
Commonwealth title can't do nothing,
I'm proud to represent my country.
Listen to me, man.
I mean,
If this was about business, you'd have win an Olympic title or a world title. I know some more money that for you.
and there's no perfect system, but yet still, as I said, you can give ways of how to try and improve the
Yeah,
system.
help the system.
You yourself has been a product of the system, and you have been successful, one of the most successful Jamaican athletes in terms, from a monetary standpoint. I mean, from a medal standpoint, as Peter said,
Mine
not so the case.
get the land and it not big enough.
Him get the land right
It not big enough.
But he's a product of the system. and
Help the system.
He has done great. He has had a great career. Fall short on a couple of times when,
I'm gonna tell you,
based on his ability, where he
If-
should have done better. But I mean, not everybody shine bright when the lights are on.
if
Right,
Asaf,
Peter? You know,
That is correct.
you know the entertainers already. You know,
let me say
when the
something.
lights bright
Yeah, man.
already.
If
From Showtime,
Asafa,
from the showman.
Yeah.
how good Asafa is right now to the world, nobody don't really know him. You know?
Yeah,
I
man.
bet
He's
I bet
top 10.
no. I
Not
bet
true,
Asafa
Froggy.
did go to some
Froggy,
farming.
he's the sub 10 king. He's
That's
the
all
top
I'm
10
looking
king.
for.
Yes.
If Asafa was to go to Canada right now and say, hey, I have my kids, there's no guarantee they're going to treat him kids any better than their own homegrown Canadian athletes.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee. If he's supposed to go Ghana, he's not a Usain Bolt. If Usain
We
Bolt,
have athletes that leave Jamaica and represent another country. Jermaine Mason, Fisher,
yeah, but where do they train?
Harvey.
Where do they train?
No, but I'm just saying they represent another country.
But them come train right here.
But
What
I
if
think
it's
the best
not-
of the best will represent Jamaica. And I mean, the competition in Jamaica is hot. You make the team this year, next year you might not make the team. Even look at the
Okay.
youngsters now at boys and girls champs. I mean, you have a host of talent.
Don't say let it be the kids' choice not to represent Jamaica because of the competitive nature of the country. Don't say your kids, like you are going to make that decision. You start to sound like Craig Butler. when we wanted Liam Bailey and Butler said who, him have options, him can play in Germany, him can play for Belgium, him can play for Malta.
Holland,
And all know,
Malta, everything, and him
right back a yard.
reggae boy. You want to be a reggae boy. Imagine Liam Bailey's career if he had played for Malta.
Better no play for
I
Malta.
mean,
You'll be a bigger star.
I don't think it would be that the Netherlands started line up.
That even Belgium.
Belgium, sorry. Yeah?
So that's how we need to get a chill pill.
Yeah.
Honestly, I never like the statement. I never like what him say. And
I'm not putting words in the mouth, but how I interpret it is not how it came across.
you hurt him.
Yeah, because the
You
point
have
what I'm
a-
trying to say that we need to treat the sports athlete them better, and it's not
But
only
then-
track and field. And imagine the little that athletes do get is way more than all the other sports. And it's not necessarily a track problem or it's all across the board.
Remember I tell you,
Jamaica don't invest in athletes.
Track and field is
They
a
wait till you get big,
big, yeah,
and then
yeah.
all right, grace.
Put some more.
Look
But
at Alia. I don't hear
Wait
Alia
long.
making comments like that.
and a long after,
Alia is also a world record holder.
but it's long after them invest in earlier.
We have a rich history in track and field. So has followed a long line of succession from, as you say, from Herb them come straight down, Murray come straight down, male, female side.
But-
Alia needs
but
more
Ken-
recognition.
Ken, would you say that Asafa has done, considering his achievements, he's done as well as he possibly could?
No.
No,
You think he could have done better?
Yes.
should have done better. Could have and should have.
No, I'm talking monetarily. Do you really
Monetarily?
think you can get paid and be treated as a celebrated athlete without
Okay,
any
well,
medal?
Trucks
Trucks don't
trucks
pay.
not pay. Trucks money.
As
not
long as
big enough.
he's-
In comparison to
Don't compare football.
baseball,
Because
NFL.
those are leagues
I mean,
and they are clubs.
no, but I'm saying from an athlete's standpoint.
You
being
can't
a
look at it that way.
professional athlete,
Track and field is a selfish sport. You know.
I think he has made a lot of money through track and field, and
And waste it.
in comparison to other track athletes,
Yes,
he's probably
it-
in the top 5
You waste it.
all time.
You waste it.
No, well, I mean, you have Duplantis and
You mean monetarily? He's made a lot of money running for himself.
yeah, he's made a good amount.
Yeah, he run for himself.
He's made a pretty penny
Yeah.
as a sprinter. Yeah, he's made a good amount. I mean, he was Nike sponsored at once, right? Yeah. So
You probably still has him a look a check every now and then.
I mean, I think track athletes should get more. So hopefully
Yeah, but that's the
it gets
thing.
higher.
That's the
Well,
thing.
with this Grand Slam
In-
track thing and I
What
mean,
does he have? Two sons? He has two sons.
Yeah.
two sons.
So we need two other guys to run the 4x100.
And a third on the way.
In another 16 years, we need two more guys. What are we doing?
Both of us son too, you know.
I know. What is Bolt? Son Thunderbolt?
Yes.
And he has
Lightning
another one.
and Thunder.
Border Cat. Thunderbolt. What is it?
I never like the statement, and I think it's better when he retire. He should have gone into farming than going to cars.
Farming.
Yeah, man, we should have gone into
Why
farming.
farming?
Can meet farming big, you know.
So it's about the land. You want
Yeah,
the land.
go on, lad, go into farming. Link up with outer
They say, "Want the land, why would I do that?"
link up with True Juice.
Froggy,
and even-
Froggy.
Hold on, no.
Froggy,
Link up
Froggy.
with True Juice and create the sub 10 milk. Well, sell it.
Froggy, you have a reputation for peeping over the fence. When you look over the fence, have you seen Olympia ball training?
Not yet.
I think.
Oh, did I leave
I don't think Froggy people over the fence. I think Froggy is the
I know
fence.
Shelly running today.
I think Froggy is the fence. You know? I don't think he people over the fence. Froggy have this inside scoop all over, but yeah, the comments kind of shaky. But I mean, leave the son out of this. Because even if it's not your son, it's your other
You know,
athletes.
we're
I
hurting.
must tell you though,
What about
he's carrying a grudge. He's carrying a chip on his shoulder.
Hurting from the
what
I
time.
think
about the young ones coming up now? Shania Douglas and Gary
That's the
Card.
problem. I'm telling you, it's the
You
same
can speak on
example.
their
you're
behalf
setting.
as well.
It's the same thing. Him just
You can say,
trickling
hey,
down.
I mean, you have a point to make. Say, yo, make sure, say, yo,
These
you try
are
to
good.
put
Don't
the
burn
youth
them
them
out
on
too
the
much.
right play. You understand? It's not
Man,
for
man,
your son
help
alone.
the
It's for
system.
all the track and field. Even on a broader aspect, all athletes in Jamaica.
Just imagine him.
Jamaica needs to invest more in the athletes. If
First-
you want to stick to track and field because you're a track athlete, then say, all right, look at the system now and say, hey, you
This
try
needs to
nature
fix.
Gary Card, nature Shania Douglas, Terry Long,
People are telling me that, oh,
What's your name?
he's investing in athletes, in sponsor them. I said, that is not how you fix it. That is a band-aid. There are things
Yeah.
within the system that needs to help the athletes them fix that.
and it's not a track and field problem alone, it's all across the board.
So I saw one more thing on social media I wanted to ask you about, Ian. There's a a TikTok guy from Portland. He's all over the thing. His name is 119. You guys ever watch him?
Really.
No, I'm not big
I
in
see him, but
TikTok.
not really see him. See him
Yeah,
and not see him.
the other day he did a top 10 list of Jamaica's ugliest women. And it
That
was very
one.
unfortunate that number one was chosen was a tie between the Clayton twins. And I thought that was a little unfortunate. What do you think, Ian?
Oh yeah, I wouldn't put them in that category. I
I
don't.
didn't see that, and I thought it was unfortunate that 119, who's a Teachfield man, would have singled out the Clayton twins.
I
Especially
mean,
when they
Teachfield
have,
people tend to be controversial and like to get trouble, you know. All of them I know, you know.
yes,
I don't want to call it names, but you know, the Teachfield people I know are very troublesome and controversial. But good people though. So I mean, I hope he's in that state where he's a good president and just do it for the jokes. But hey,
Yeah, he's a
I
joker.
don't really follow much a TikTok on 119.
He's a
I don't
joker.
know the twins, you know. I don't know them, but I can't remember them specifically. But I just thought it unfortunate that he chose a track athlete, you know, instead of say the attorney general or something.
Or the sports minister. One right now, put himself in a trouble, man. Careful. Yeah. But, I mean,
But, yeah.
we don't even touch on the football.
Yeah,
And
but
look
we
at the time.
have to touch on it quick, because next week the Unity Cup in England, Jamaica versus Trinidad on the 27th, and Unity Cup is made up of 4 teams. I think it's Jamaica, Trinidad, Ghana, and Nigeria. So we'll be playing Trinidad in the first semi-final. The 2 African nations against each other, and whoever reaches the
Reggae
finals.
was.
Yeah, but it's I think the team is predominantly made up of JPL players. A lot of JPL players.
Still reggae boys.
Still reggae boys, because a lot of the English-based players, they won't be available. Season's still going on. I don't think
Give the local some.
Kaim won't be available because he's in the playoff for the championship. Ethan expressed his desire to play. I think Isaac expressed a desire to play as well. A couple
I
players,
think the local players.
but
should
local
get
players will be getting
try
a
to
good looking.
Should make an
Try to sell
opportunity.
players.
Try to make a good opportunity.
Push
See
themselves.
our homegrown talent can look to push on and improve. I mean, as I said, time flies. We don't even give you a Champions League run up. I mean, we have a PSG going for a treble, Barca going for a treble. Inter is right there. So we have Barca versus Inter, Arsenal versus PSG. But next week we'll dive deeper into that.
PSG,
I mean,
Inter final.
I'm sure Fraggy won't say Arsenal will win the Champions League, but they got the better Real Madrid. But I think next week we'll dive more into that because those matchups will come at the end of April 29th and April 30th. We see the first legs: Arsenal versus PSG, Barca versus Inter. PSG looking to go undefeated in the league. So far, 24 wins, 5 draws, and I said undefeated, 0 losses. So you see if that continues. So next week we'll dive deeper into football. I mean, we'll talk more about basketball. We'll try to get a look in from Barbados with our next co-host, Dale Palm, who's down there trying to charge on the boys. I don't know how long he's away for, but sometimes that guy seems to be away for 2-3 weeks. I can't keep track of him. Him and Peter just all over the world and not carrying me. I mean, oh, jeez. I need to.
Chic.
Yeah, I need to give them an interview from down there in Dubai or somewhere.
Yeah.
Tahiti next. But people, as I said, time flies.
When you're having fun.
Yeah, and it's come to an end of another Primal Sports Center.
I'm your host, Froggy.
I mean, I'm in the shop, Watson. I'll game of the big up.
Fit FM 96.7. All those down in Chile and listening to us. The World Wide Web, Facebook, YouTube, Primal 4K app, Primal Sports Center. Can't beat this.
Yep. And you don't know, big up the controversy boss. All the way over there, I don't even know where, but you always check in. You know, always controversial, but hopefully he'll be back in studio next week. And I mean, same time, same place. So see you next week. Enjoy the Easter holiday. Don't eat too much bun and cheese.
Okay.
I mean, have some fun, some family time. And I mean, watch some sports. Basketball is on. Hey, one love from the Primal Sports X.